Welcome to astronauts.com. In this video, I'm going to show you how to start knitting a ruffle scarf. To knit with this ruffle yarn, you're going to need knitting needles that are at least size 10 or 11. This will enable you to knit most easily into the holes of the yarn. Begin by spreading the end of the yarn with your fingers and examining the shape. You'll want to identify the edge that's going to be the outside edge and the edge that you're going to knit on. In this example, the little white things show the edge that's the outside edge, and I'm going to knit along the top here. Once you have identified the holes that you're going to knit into along one edge, you will begin to cast on. Casting on this yarn is a little different than normal. All you have to do is insert your knitting needle into a hole. Now you've cast on one stitch. Continue in this fashion, usually up to about 8 stitches across. Insert your needle into a loop edge one by one until you have 8 stitches on your needle. You'll have to keep pulling apart the yarn to find these edge stitches as you continue. For the cast on, I insert my right hand needle from front to back through the loops. When you've completed your cast on, you're ready to knit the first row. Insert your right hand needle as usual to knit the first stitch. Then wrap a hole just like the one you found for cast on, onto the right hand needle. Make sure that you are knitting across the row in the order that you casted them on. They may tend to overlap with each other. Notice that as I grab a loop, I insert my right hand needle from the back to the front of the hole. This direction of wrapping is consistent with regular knitting. The stitches of the first row may be particularly tricky because of the strange cast on. It is always recommended that you keep your fingers on the stitches nearest the edge of the needle so that they don't slip off. This yarn tends to be pretty slippery and so they can be quite tricky. Continue working across all 8 of your cast-on stitches to form the first row. Although at first it seems tedious to have to keep spreading the yarn apart to find the piece to knit with, it does become easier over time. With this particular yarn, the holes to knit with are evenly spaced. With other ribbon yarns, you may have to skip 1 or 2 holes, especially if they are closer together, in order to produce the same ruffle. When you get to the end of the row, simply continue on to the next row, knitting in the same way. This is how you will construct the entire scarf. Though you could use your right hand to spread the yarn, I find it easiest to use the left hand to spread the yarn so I don't have to keep taking my right hand off the needle. You should start to see the ruffle forming after you've completed a couple rows. Thank you for watching this video. Be sure to visit astronauts.com for more knitting videos and great knitting info.